Hi, my name is Federico Caniato and I'm a professor of Supply Chain and Procurement Management at the School of Management of Politecnico di Milano. I have been researching and teaching supply chain and procurement in the fashion and luxury industry for more than 10 years. The aim of this lecture is to answer the question, what is the role of procurement for fashion and luxury firms? After this lecture, you will be able to understand the impact of suppliers on the performance of fashion and luxury firms and the importance of managing them strategically. To answer the question, we may start by looking at this chart. Here we have aggregated the financial reports of the 15 most important fashion firms in Italy over 10 years. We are focusing on the ratio between the main cost elements and the sales. You can observe that the procurement of goods and services accounts between 70 and 80% of total sales. This means that for every 100 euros of sales, between 70 and 80 are spent for procuring goods and services from suppliers. The cost of labor accounts only for 10% or less, which means that out of 100 euros, only 10 or less are spent for salaries of employees. The remaining part of the graph is the so-called EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, which measures the gross operating margin. The data that you have seen show clearly that the procurement of goods and services is by far the most relevant cost of fashion companies, and therefore we can conclude that first of all, procurement has a fundamental impact on the cost structure of the firm and needs to be carefully managed since it impacts directly the profit of the company. Even a small percentage saving on such a huge cost element may provide a significant increase in the profit of the company. You may expect as a consequence that companies try to reduce their procurement costs as much as possible, for example, by looking for low-cost suppliers. This is surely true, but it is only one of the several impacts that procurement has on the company performance. Such a high value of procurement costs means that companies buy from suppliers not only standard and low-value goods and services, but also customized and high-value ones. For example, fashion and luxury companies buy precious raw materials, such as gold and diamonds, silk and exotic leather, as well as high-value design by famous designers or highly skilled craftsmanship by unique artisans. All these valuable purchases contribute significantly to the overall value of the products delivered to the final customers in many ways, impacting on the critical success factors. First of all, procurement activities contribute to the premium quality that is a must for any fashion and luxury company. Given the high share of goods and services acquired from suppliers, the quality of the final product, both in terms of design quality and conformance, is strongly dependent on suppliers. Selecting the right suppliers and carefully monitoring their work is fundamental to ensure the desired quality. Think, for example, at leather products, such as bags. The customer expects to see a flawless object made of fine materials without any defect and perfectly cut and sewed. In addition, procurement must ensure the timely delivery of materials and products in order to meet customer requests and ensure the availability of products in stores and online. Fashion and luxury customers usually expect a very high service level, and their demand can be unpredictable and erratic. A highly responsive and reliable supply base is essential to serve the market. When a brand launches a promotional campaign for a new collection, or when a famous person appears wearing a garment by a certain brand, demand for the product can skyrocket unexpectedly. In order to serve such demand and avoid disappointing customers, the whole supply chain needs to be quick and responsive, starting from suppliers. Another key contribution of suppliers is innovation, in terms of both technical and aesthetical performance of the product. This means that suppliers are not just executors of the brand's requirements, but they actively contribute to the added value perceived by the final customer and therefore to the premium price of the product. Think, for example, at the role of Brembo, the world leader in high-performance brakes for cars and motorbikes. Brembo supplies all leading brands of the luxury and sport segment, contributing to the development of innovative technological solutions for racing cars, starting from Ferrari in Formula One, which are later transferred to the luxury cars offered on the market. Finally, and not less important, suppliers today take care of most of the production activities that have a potential negative impact on both the environment and the society, since they consume natural resources, adopt chemical processes, employ human labor intensively, use materials of animal origin, and so on. Therefore, suppliers may be responsible for bad reputation not only for themselves, but also for their customers, with negative consequences on the brand image. Today, however, the attention of consumers and brands for sustainability is significantly higher compared to the past. It is no more enough to monitor the supply base to avoid negative consequences. Today, sustainability has become a source of value, and the suppliers who are able to offer environmentally and socially sustainable products and processes can make a difference for their customers. In summary, during this lecture, you have seen how procurement represents by far the most important cost for fashion and luxury firms, but also a major source of value in terms of quality, delivery, innovation, and sustainability.